SOK har så i samarbejde med det lokale redningsberedskab og dykkere.
I København begynder en konference om religiøs og politisk radikalisme. Den kontroversielle Dr Tahir-ul-Qadri taler ved konferencen, og han kendes både som religiøs fundamentalist, men også for sin kamp mod terror.
I Ovnehallen på CBS i København begynder en konference om religiøs og politisk radikalisme. Den kontroversielle Dr Tahir-ul-Qadri taler ved konferencen, og han kendes både som religiøs fundamentalist, men også for sin kamp mod terror. God aften, velkommen på News. Professor og religiøs lært Dr Tahir-ul-Qadri har skabt en voldsom debat forud for en konference om religiøs og politisk radikalisme, der åbner her i København om 2 timer. Den holdes i Ovnehallen på CBS i København, og socialminister Karen Hækkerup skulle have været en af talerne, men hun har meldt afbud, fordi hun ikke vil være i stue med Dr Tahir-ul-Qadri. Han er ellers en kendt stemme mod terror og har holdt foredrag verden over. Og med fra Ovnehallen på CBS har jeg nu Dr Tahir-ul-Qadri. Dr. ul-Qadri, welcome back on TV2 News. Your presence and participation in today's conference has created a heated debate in Denmark about your person and the apparently different views that you hold on Sharia and human rights. Let me play 2 clips for you. The first one is what you said to me here in the studio a few days ago about the young girl in Pakistan who is accused of blasphemy because she might have burned some pages from the Quran. And here you talk about the blasphemy laws in Pakistan. Let's listen.
I differ with the procedural and administrative, all procedural law of this matter. I have many reservations. I have difference of opinion. And this law needs a lot of reforms and amendments. And I do not support this law as it is being practiced in Pakistan.
So, no doubt about it, you say that you are against the way the law is practiced in Pakistan, where the punishment for blasphemy is death. But here's another clip that we have found in Urdu, where you talk about the same laws, but in a totally different way. Let's take a listen.
मैं स्टैंड ये ले रहा था और यही कानून बनवाया. मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये था कि जो भी गुस्ताखी रसूल का मुर्तकिब हो, मुसलमान हो या गैर मुस्लिम, मर्द हो या औरत, मुसलमान हो, यहूदी हो, ईसाई हो, हिंदू हो, कोई हो, या मर्द हो या औरत हो, जो गुस्ताखी रसूल का मुर्तकिब हो उसकी सजा कत्ल है. दूसरी बात मैंने ये मौक़िफ़ ली थी कि उसे जो हर मुर्तद के लिए तौबा की इजाजत है, इस्तिताबत होगी, मगर गुस्ताख रसूल से तौबा का नहीं पूछा जाएगा, उसको स्ट्रेट स्टेट अवे कत्ल कर दिया जाएगा. कि एक शख्स लड़ रहा है हुर्मत रसूल की अजमत के लिए, नामूस रसूल के लिए, ताकि गुस्ताखी के सारे रास्ते और सब इम्कानात बंद हो जाएं, और जो जुबान खोले, मुसलमान हो या यहूदी हो या ईसाई हो या काफिर हो या मोमिन हो या मर्द हो या औरत हो, उसे कुत्ते की तरह सजा मौत दे दी जाए.
So, Dr. ul-Qadri, which one is it? Which one of the clips is the real ul-Qadri?
There is no conflict in both of these clips, because I have already stated in this clip I am talking only about the basic quantum of the punishment, which is known to be substantive law. But the disagreement which I mentioned about the law, that is regarding its structure, its practice, and the way how it is being used. I have not uttered a single word in favor of its structure, in its practice, and its administration. The whole thing which you have heard in this clip is connected with the quantum of punishment. And this quantum of punishment, I have repeatedly said, has been given in Bible, it has been maintained by Jesus Christ, and it has been maintained by Holy Prophet Muhammad. So the Jewish religion, Christian religion, and Islam, and Bible and Quran, all 3 religions are in the same boat. Being a believer, I can't contradict Holy Moses or Holy Jesus Christ or Prophet Muhammad. but I have disagreement with the structural and administrative aspect of the law. I have, my viewpoint of it is the same. In that clip, there is nothing related to the administrative aspect of misuse of law. In the same speech, if you go 6 hours further, I have criticized the way it is being misused. And I say this law is being misused.
So, Dr.
This law's
Qadri,
administration needs a lot of amendments.
Excuse me for interrupting you. That leads naturally to the next question. Do you favor capital punishment for insulting the Prophet?
As far as the capital punishment is concerned, if this is the question, so the capital punishment is still practiced in 35 states of United States of America. Capital punishment for different crimes is still
for insulting
in
the
Russia,
Prophet, though.
in
Not
China.
For insulting anybody. It's for different crimes, right?
It's fine. I agree. I agree. It is not for blasphemy, but still for different crimes. There is capital punishment, and 1,400 death punishments have been awarded in America since 1976 till 2012. For different crimes.
But none,
if it is the matter of capital punishment and death
insulting
punishment.
the Prophet. So let's be specific. In your opinion, does it constitute blasphemy?
Let me
and should
explain,
it carry
please.
a death sentence to publish, for instance, a cartoon of the Prophet?
Let me explain, please, one thing. This blasphemy law in Pakistan was made 27 years, 28 years before. But for the last 28 years, none of the person who was charged has been sentenced to death. This is the history, and I am quoting the record. The judiciary of Pakistan is so sensible and reasonable. The judges of Pakistan are so knowledgeable that none of the person charged against blasphemy has been sentenced to death up till today. So this is a different matter.
Right. Doctor, it has now been noted that you are for the blasphemy laws and you are for capital punishment, but not the way that it apparently is carried out or mandated in Pakistan. So let's be specific. And in your opinion, does it constitute blasphemy? And you should know that blasphemy is probably in Denmark different or interpreted differently than it is in Pakistan. So in your opinion, does it constitute blasphemy, and should it carry a death sentence to publish, for instance, a cartoon of the Prophet?
Whatever was done in Danish newspaper, I agree. Danish is not an Islamic country. And there is no right of any Muslim community to claim Islamization of Denmark. Sharia is not to be enforced in Denmark. Islamic laws and penal system is not to be enforced in Denmark. So it will never be applied here. This is just a matter in the Islamic countries. I believe in democracy. Parliaments have their own choice to make the blasphemy laws or not to make. What kind of punishment they want to formulate and what kind of not. So Danish parliament has its own right, freedom. So I would say no punishment for the cartoons publisher newspaper here in Denmark.
So what about in Pakistan?
Non-Muslim society and non-Muslim state.
So what in Pakistan is a cartoon or burning, for instance, the Quran and other holy books, as despicable as it might be to some people, should it carry a death sentence in Pakistan?
So in Pakistan, for example, we will go to the law made by the parliament, the present law of the land. But the question is, it is to establish whether this is a false accusation. For example, in this case, when the girl, as it is stated, she was a minor, 9 or 11 years old. She was suffering from Down syndrome. If this is the case, then no punishment is to be awarded on that girl according to the Islamic law. Second thing, we need a quite big evidences. Sometimes laws are misused. The powerful political people, they lodge a false accusation against minorities and against poor people, and they wrongly create this kind of law in order to take a revenge, their own personal matters, their revenge. So I would say that this kind of misuse should be stopped. A big radical change and reformation is needed in this law so that the minorities are not exploited, minorities are not harassed, minorities are not misused, and this law is not wrongly applied on them. And any act which goes against the rights of minorities is also necessarily to be protected by the Islamic law. So Islam does not allow anybody to misuse a law against minorities. This is the law of Quran and this is the law of the Sunnah of Holy Prophet. If anything is misused, the law of murder is misused in Pakistan. Many other laws are misused. Influential people in their society, they take wrong benefit of the laws. They create influences of the police or stations and police officers. Situation is slightly different in Western societies and Pakistani society. That's why I would say that these laws need very carefully to be amended in its structure, in its administration, but way and method it is applied,
Qadri,
so that the minority rights are protected.
I totally understand what you're saying, but this girl might be belonging to a minority. I guess she's Christian and she's a minor. But had she been 16 or 18 or whatever the legal age is, should she be punished according to the law that you apparently supported just a few months ago?
Yeah.
If she's found guilty, I mean.
Yes, I say whatever the reports are saying, whatever the reports up till now I was able to read from different newspapers, nothing establishes proper blasphemy against her. If I was there as a judge, I would have released her. And if any injustice goes against her, I will still go there to protect her right and her life.
But if she is found guilty in a court in Pakistan, should she be punished according to the Sharia law? That's my question.
Why we talk of the Sharia law? We should talk of the law of Pakistan. This is the law which was made by the parliament. And still now, Asif Ali Zardari is the president of Pakistan. Benazir Bhutto was the prime minister of Pakistan. 28 years have passed. Many democratic governments have taken there. They have made dozens of amendments in the constitution. Why they don't make amendment in the constitution and the law? Those democratic and popular governments and duly elected governments, why they don't make this kind of amendments? I have been asking them many times.
But
the
still,
society
Dr.
needs
Qadri,
an amendment.
My question to you is, if she is found guilty, or if anybody is found guilty of blasphemy, should they, according to your opinion, be punished with capital punishment?
I will go again to the answer. If caricatures or cartoons are published in Danish newspaper, we have no right to enforce our kind of laws on the Danish society. In the same way, Danish society should learn to respect the laws of other parliaments. Danish newspapers should learn to respect the democracies. Let them make their own laws, and if there is any fault, let's go for a dialogue. Let's discuss in a democratic way instead of interfering with each other's laws. So Pakistan has no right to interfere with Danish laws and Danish law of freedom of speech and expression. In the same way, the Danish newspaper society should have no right to interfere with the Pakistani laws. Our collective platform can be a UNO. We can have a democratic dialogue with the governments, with the parliaments. We can have an exchange of views. But laws of one country are not going to be enforced in other countries. And I am not in favor of interfering with one another laws in the country. I am total Democrat. I believe in democracy. I believe in freedom of choice.
Dr. Qadri, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.